On this vote, the yeas are 205, the nays are 228. The motion is not adopted.
With that vote, the U.S. House of Representatives on Monday defeated a $700 billion bailout for the financial sector. It sent shockwaves from Washington to Wall Street, where market players were expecting to be saved from their bad debts and reckless investments. The Dow Jones crashed almost 780 points, the largest one-day drop in its history. Stunned traders on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, their faces tense and mouths agape, watched on TV screens as the House voted down the package, and activity on the floor became frenetic as the sell orders blew in. Outside the stock exchange, protesters angered by the government giveaway gathered as the securities dropped. Though 95 Democrats and 135 Republicans voted against the deal, Republican leaders blamed the vote's failure on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's scathing speech near the close of the debate.
$700 billion, a staggering number, but only a part of the cost of the failed Bush economic policies to our country. Policies that were built on budget recklessness. He inherited President Clinton's surpluses, and now 8 years later, the foundation of that fiscal irresponsibility, combined with an anything-goes economic policy, has taken us to where we are today.
We've put everything we had into getting the votes to get there today. But the Speaker had to give a partisan voice that poisoned our conference, caused a number of members that we thought we could get to go south.
Though the leadership of both parties are trying to pass the bill quickly to calm the markets, on Sunday, many on both sides of the House were critical of the secrecy and haste around the legislation. Writing in Counterpunch, Mike Whitney said, "The fear on Capitol Hill is palpable, especially among the Democrats who have led the effort to pass Paulson's boondoggle ASAP. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and fellow Democratic Party leaders did everything in their power to sandbag dissenters, quash resistance, and rush the bill to a vote without the usual deliberation and debate."
Mr. Speaker, I also come to the floor today to talk about this $700 billion bill that's in front of us. I use the term bill advisedly because we have seen no bill. We are here debating talking points on perhaps what is one of the largest fundamental change in our nation's financial system in its history. I have been thrown out of more meetings in this Capitol in the last 24 hours than I ever thought possible as a duly elected representative of 820,000 citizens of North Texas. I understand we're under martial law as declared by the Speaker last night. I think it's ironic. House Republicans have not been needed for a single thing in this House to assure passage for the last 22 months. And today, we're going to be asked to vote for a bill for political cover because Democrats are too weak to stand up to their Speaker.
We are told we will have a bill, $1 trillion bill to review soon, and have less than 24 hours with no regular hearings to try to vote on this tar baby. The people pushing this deal are the very same ones who were responsible for the implosion on Wall Street. They were fraudulent then, and they're fraudulent now. We should say no to this deal.
William Greider, in an article in The Nation, wrote, "The essential political failure is that Congress did not step up and assert the full emergency powers of the government in this epic crisis. That is, take temporary control of the entire financial and banking system so regulators and policymakers can steer the U.S. economy to safer ground, compelling the private institutions to follow their lead. This rescue plan remains essentially voluntary." Representative Dennis Kucinich of Ohio on Sunday was also critical of the bailout.
The $700 billion bailout for Wall Street is being driven by fear, not fact. This is too much money in too short a time going to too few people while too many questions remain unanswered. Why aren't we having hearings on the plan we just received? Why aren't we questioning the underlying premise of the need for a bailout with taxpayers' money? Why have we not even considered any alternatives other than to give $700 billion to Wall Street? Why aren't we asking Wall Street to clean up its own mess? Why aren't we passing new laws to stop the speculation which triggered this? Why aren't we putting up new regulatory structures to protect the investors? How do we even value the $700 billion in toxic assets? Why aren't we directly helping homeowners with their debt burden? Why aren't we helping American families faced with bankruptcy? Why aren't we reducing debts for Main Street instead of Wall Street? Isn't it time for fundamental change in our debt-based monetary system so we can free ourselves from the manipulation of by the Federal Reserve and the banks? Is this the United States Congress or the board of directors of Goldman Sachs? Wall Street is a place of bears and bulls. It's not smart to force taxpayers to dance with bears or to follow closely behind the bulls.